Hello, sweet people. How are you? I hope you're all good. I'm sitting on the balcony and I felt the need to record this video for you. I've had a lot of sessions with you guys the last couple of weeks, and what I felt was there's so much confusion in the air. So much, I don't know what to do next. I don't know how to decide. What am I supposed to do? There's so much that I've noticed in sessions that I had with some of you, that, or many of you actually, that topic was just coming back and back, and I was like, okay, if so many people are dealing with this, let's make it a video for everyone on YouTube. So I really truly feel that it's time to focus, right? And that means maybe what's to focus on for you is bringing your energy back into your body instead of searching outside for what am I supposed to do? What is everybody else doing? What are spiritual guides saying? What are spiritual teachers saying? I feel that you need to bring your power back into your body. Stop watching too much of YouTube, of Netflix, of all this stuff that is available, and there's good stuff available. Nothing against the information out there, but I just strongly feel that you need to learn right now to trust yourself. This is just as important as, receiving information and studying and learning on the outside. The opposite piece is just as important, that you go inward and digest, integrate, but then also, because I know also a lot of you have been doing the inside work as well. So some of you are like a lot outside and a lot inside. Maybe you've done both. And now it's time, depending where you're at, to focus. And I think some of you need to focus on taking a break from all that deep work if you've been doing that at the moment or for a while. So maybe now it's time for you to actually take a break, rest, no matter how that looks like for you. Get out of your head. Feel your body. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Feel your body. What does it want? Does it want to rest, as in laying in bed for a couple of days and reading or listening to music or just silence? Is it going on walks? Is the rest you need movement, dancing, workouts? Is the rest you need a mix of it all? Is the rest you need nourishing food? Do you need somebody who cooks you like a chicken soup or a vegetable soup? What do you need? Find that out and provide it to yourself, okay? First thing. So some of you may resonate with that. I need rest. I need to allow myself to not be all in the content consumption the whole time, yeah? You need to make space to hear your intuition, to hear what you want, to integrate, to process what you've already worked on, yeah? Many of us, when we're in the process of going inward, going deep, we're just getting a little obsessed with it, and that's okay, yeah? There can be passion in that, but then also take a deep breath and notice, is it still productive, yeah? Or does my system, my nervous system, does it need a break? Do I need to rest? And don't feel like you're giving up. It's not what it is. It's resting, it's recharging, because the inner work is also work, as you may know. And sometimes it's really about resting, coming back into the world, into life after a lot of time inward, and starting to do simple things. Going for a coffee with a friend, having a piece of cake. Don't be so rigid with yourself, yeah? Going for a walk, going to a dance class or whatever, Do something silly. It doesn't, not everything needs to have the meaning of, being spiritual and serious. No. You need to allow yourself to embrace the fun, like lightness, life. We are humans still, okay? If you were supposed to be just a spirit, you would be. But you are supposed to live a spiritual experience as a human being. And that's not just digging deep, and it's not just being shallow, for lack of a better word, yeah? It's a mix, and you get to find what works for you. It's not gonna look like mine, it's not gonna look like somebody else's. it gets to look like yours. And that means building structure. And I think a lot of people have a fear of structure because of the structure that we are being, taught in society. 9 to 5, 24/7, all these kind of things. What structure would support you? You get to decide. I just had a session with a client, and she just quit her job, and she is afraid of structure because her father was really rigid always. So we needed to work on the release of this emotional charge that structure creates in her nervous system. So we had to release that. And that's been a topic for a few weeks now that we've been working on. So now she had a breakthrough today where she felt like, oh, I get to make my own structure. It gets to be fun. Yes. So envision, feel with your body, not only thinking with your mind. What do I want to feel like? I want to feel open. I want to feel light. I want to feel supported by my structure. The structure is supposed to work for me, not me for it. And then there's this thought, yes, but nobody does it like that. Oh my God. I've been there too. And it's just really deprogramming what you should do into what do I want? What would feel really nourishing to me? Yeah, this is what we're moving into, guys, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between. This is what we're moving into, individualization, but not separation. You get to do you and show others that they get to be them as well. Yeah, it's not rigid, it's not angry, it's gracious, and it's spacious as well. So this is for the ones who feel overwhelmed, that need a break. Let's talk about the ones who feel like in overconsumption, always in the outside, completely absorbed with, listening to 1,000 teachers, listening to 1,000 audiobooks, podcasts, YouTubes, reading 5 books at a time, being involved in 5 groups. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. You guys, you need to close all the books. You need to take a break from all the groups. Maybe not all the groups. Stick with them that feel good, that feel supportive, that when you walk out you feel like nourished, not annoyed all the time. And take a break from this outside identification, from this craving, or even this need to learn, like this need. It's not the need to learn something, because it's good to have a craving to learn and to develop and to grow, right? But if you feel like, oh my God, just one more YouTube video, or you feel like, how are they doing it? And it feels like this necessity that feels like even a little bit like a drug, then it's time to close the books. It's time to, separate from the outside noise and start listening to your inner voice. I had a beautiful session yesterday with another client that sticks out for me right now. And she wanted to get in touch with her natural voice, with her intuition, and start following it more. And the whole session, she answered her own questions. And I made her aware of it. But then she said like, yeah, but I don't know if this is my intuition or if this is my fear. So we went into feeling into a situation of, oh, that feels like scary, and doesn't feel good. That's not something I want to do. That's what I want to get away from, truly. And then we felt into a situation of, oh, this felt expansive. This feels right to me. This makes me smile. This makes me exhale. Yeah. And so you feel like, this is aligned. This feels like my real self. So inside you can learn to separate between expansion, something that feels illuminating, relaxing, exhaling, expansive inside, and then you can, this will always be something, supportive or positive, and then, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. There can be fear coming up with the expansion. If you say like, oh, I want to move somewhere, or I want to start this program, or I want to start painting or singing or whatever. They can be like, oh, this is really what I want to do, and I'm afraid. Yeah, and then there can also be the other side of the coin where you feel like, I should do that, but it's contracting. It doesn't feel good, you get tired, you feel exhausted, you just feel like, I need to drag myself to do it. It doesn't feel aligned at all. And then also learn to honor that and say, if this never makes me feel good, if this maybe makes me feel smaller or less valuable or anything like that, is this really for me? Yeah. And often the answer is no. Only you can answer that, but this is how it is for me, and what I noticed in my clients, that this is something that's unaligned. Yeah. So this is what you get to differentiate it with. But if you're only the whole time outside focused on, oh, I should do that, this is what everybody else is doing, everybody else is not living your life. You need to make decisions for you. And if you never begin, you will never learn to trust yourself and your inner guidance. And also your logic, right? Like your heart, your intuition, your logic, they do belong together. But first you need to feel in your body what feels expansive. Yeah, what feels good to me. And you can only do that and begin to trust that. And I know in the beginning it's hard. You want to just get to the safe side, perceived safe side of what is everybody else doing, I'm going to do that. Maybe it's not aligned for you. And maybe you're not going to see immediate results from what you're starting to do. And then staying committed, feeling into, is this still right for me? Yes, okay, I'm going to keep going. That's hard, right? Why is it hard? Because you don't see immediately the results yet. But you feel it's right. Okay, let me keep going. Yeah, and you can only start listening and trusting that voice within you when you bring your power back into your body and start listening inside. What feels good to me? And you can start with really small things like, do I really want a coffee? What does my body need? And feel inside, not here. Take a breath in with your exhale. Push the energy into your body and feel in your body. Is it a coffee? And just notice, what is the answer? Maybe you don't get an answer. Then ask, is it a tea? Feels a little better already. Is it a green tea? No. Is it a black tea? No. Is it a herbal tea? Ooh, yeah, I could have a herbal tea. Start with those super, super, super small examples, because the more smaller the example, the more you will dare to go with your intuition. And this is how you build up your intuition and your inner trust, your inner guidance. But really, 2025 and onwards, this is the time to hone in on self-trust like no other. It's time. You will not get away anymore with listening to everybody's voices, because it's going to make you crazy. It's going to make you feel like lost, because you're not connected to yourself. You're not anchored within you. So you need to start anchoring within you. Yeah? And if you've been doing that work, anchoring within you, and you still feel confused, then it's time to start taking action. Nothing can be integrated without taking action. And sometimes the action is passive, so that means resting. Sometimes the action is active and making a decision, taking a little risk, yeah, for your benefit, not to be stupid, not to be working against yourself, not to sabotage, what people call sabotage. I have a video on that, check it out. It's a few videos back. Not to hold yourself back, let's say. Not to play into your fears and insecurities, but to really show up. And I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna take some time if you don't trust yourself much, if you don't have a strong connection with your intuition. It's gonna take some time to build it, but honestly, it's worth it. So it's just also fun and simple to get started, just by listening, like this example with, what do I want to drink? What do I really feel like eating? And give yourself a moment to feel into your body. Is it pasta? Is it a salad? Is it couscous? Is it something light? Is it something warm and comforting? What kind of music do I want to listen to today? Let me feel. Ooh, I need something like samba, or I need classical music. I need, the calming. What do I need? Start with those questions. Also, when somebody invites you out, what does my body need? And get out of your head, feel into your body. Take a few deep breaths and imagine to push the energy from the top of your head into your body. You can stand up. Yeah? Stand on the wood or on the floor. Feel your feet and breathe the energy down into your body. You can even imagine to breathe the energy down through your feet in the floor, in the earth. Maybe I should do a meditation for you like that, to ground. Gotta ground, you gotta start anchoring into yourself. Okay? So the focus that I'm talking about is not just focus on one thing necessarily to do. It's focusing your energy back into who am I, what do I want? Yeah, what feels good to me, what feels right to me, and starting taking little action. And if there's something you've been playing with for a long time, like I want to move there, or I want to start this business, I want to start singing, I want to go to university, then take little actions in that direction. Maybe you don't have to do the big thing yet at all, but see what happens when you look for a job in that new city, when you reach out to that friend who studied the same thing, when you go for an open day at that music school. See what happens. Give yourself the time to, evolve into it, but also start taking action on what feels right. If you don't know, I don't know if it's it, don't wait so long. Try it out. Something small around the idea of what you want. Okay? And then also don't be afraid to make mistakes with those little choices. Don't think for 45 minutes, what flavor of ice cream do I want? Pick one that feels in the moment, and then next time you will know, oh, this is not really my favor. You will also learn from making mistakes, so don't be afraid of making mistakes, because they are so valuable. Even if you move to that city and 6 months in you realize oof, I don't know, this is not really for me. Yeah, okay, but now you know. I really truly believe we can, making mistakes is important. It's not, don't be ruthless, don't be completely, irrational about something. But if you have a feeling that you've been carrying within you for a long time, maybe it's start to take some action on it and not just, wait for something to happen. Not gonna happen. You gotta take some action, my love. Okay, so that's my message for today. I love you, and I see you in another video, and you've got this. Okay, bring the energy back in. Breathe, focus, and feel. And even if in the first moment you will not know yet, is this right or not? Practice, write it maybe down. If it returns, there's something there, And then the fear can coexist. The part of you that's afraid, maybe it's a younger part. Maybe it's a part that, was not allowed to take risks. Maybe that was a part that wasn't allowed to express yourself the way you want to. So that part is just wanting to keep you safe, but maybe you can chat with that part and tell it, listen, what is your need? What is your fear? We're not that little child anymore. And I understand you, and I thank you for protecting me. And yet, I know you're afraid, and I've got you. And I want to take this action anyway. Or, I think you're right. I should be careful with that person. So, I know we've been hurt in the past, and this person doesn't act the way that makes me feel safe. So, I can tell that person. And if the person continues acting in that way, I will take my leave or whatever, just as an example. Yeah. So, we don't want to push away that fear. We want to acknowledge it and decide I'm going to do it anyway, or I'm going to listen to that fear. Yeah, you need to decide, is this just a fear that wants to keep me safe, but this is what I want to do, so I take the fear by the hand and I'm going to do it anyway because I'm an adult and I can handle what's coming to me? Ask yourself even, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, what's my plan B or C if that goes wrong? Or sometimes we're actually in a situation where we should acknowledge and listen to the fear speaking that's protecting us. Okay, but you need to start understanding what is what. You've got this. If you have questions, put them in the chat, and I see you in the next video. Ciao.